Hello and welcome to the Home and Learn video course for visualbasic.net. I'm Kenny Carney, and in the previous video we had open file button. We clicked that and we read the contents of a file line by line. We are now going to write to file. We're going to write that file, update the text file, add another button to your form, change the text property to write to. I've misspelled that on. Right. I've still misspelled it. Right to file. There we go. That looks right. And copy here. If you change the where's it gone? Name property. Button right. I've spelled it right this time. And have a look further down. You'll see there's a property called enabled. I want you to set that to false. See. There's an enabled for other controls as well. You can see there's one for text boxes. So enabled equals false. And if I start the form, you can see what that does. Start. Alright, so here's the button, and it's switched it off entirely. There's only one button I can click on, which is that one. So we want to open the file, we want to get the contents. But if I were to click this one first, it might halt the program. It might it might cause an error. Right, so that enabled property is false. There, you can switch it back on. You can switch that button back on. You can do that was button right. That's the button. So if you switch it back on, that enabled property is set it to true. And if I start it now, I can open up the file and it switches this button back on, and that's the file. We've updated that one. We've placed the ISBN number first, and we've got the author first name last. So we now want to write a file so we can update it. So how do we do that? Get rid of that. And have a double click of your button. You can see I've already added a couple of lines, and it is the same lines as in button open. It's just these: file path, file name, and my documents folder again, and also the if statement if it exists. So for this code, I've just copied and pasted it from button open. And you'll see in a later tutorial when we do functions and subs, you can see how to cut down on duplicated code like that. But for the time being, we'll just copy and paste it. Right, so we've got if input output file, if that exists, true, then we're going to do something. We're going to write to file. So to write to a file, you set up a variable before. I'll call it my writer as. And you want the new keyword again, new, and input output dot. This time there's a stream writer, and you can put something between the round brackets, which is that file path again, file path. You can also add something if you typed a comma. There's also other options, 3 of 8. We'll get to those shortly. So for now, we'll just set up a stream writer called my write. Oops, let me add an R in there, call it my writer. It's better, isn't it? And this one is quite easy to use. You just need the writer, my writer, and you type a dot, and you'll see there's a write. There's also a write line, which we'll discuss in a moment, but write. And you want your round brackets, and in between those round brackets, you type wherever it is you're trying to write. We want the contents of the text box on text. So the entire contents of that text box we want to write, and it will write to this file. But what it will do, it will erase the contents of this file. So it won't append it, it won't add it to the end. It will just erase whatever you already have in authors.csv. You'll see how to append in a moment. But we'll add that. Right, I will close it. close the writer, we'll add a message box just to show that something has happened. That's written to file, and yeah, we'll add an else part, I think, just in case the file path isn't there. Add in the message box. Where's it gone? File does not exist. Well, does not exist. Let's spell it right. Yeah, close enough. File does not exist. Alright, so if I were to run this program, it would totally erase the contents of the text box, and it will update the file. Let me show you append first before we do anything. So for this part, streamwriter.filepath, you can type here comma, and if I type true here, true, then it will append it to the end of the file. To the end of the file if I put true there. There's also false. If you add it to false, then it's a little bit strange because it creates a new file if it doesn't exist. So that author's there. So if it can't find an authors.csv, it will create one for you. So let me add that one to true. And let me, I think I need a VB new line here. New line, 2%. Right. Let me try it, see what happens. Open file. There's my button is activated. Now I want to write to file. So for this line, the open file, what we did, we chopped and we changed this line, and I want to write to file, written to file. Let me locate that author's text file if I can find it. What have we done? Documents and authors.csv, and there we go. That is what we had first, all right? With the verb my and then the ISBN, and this is our amended lines. So I've got the ISBN, and it's written them all in the new format. Let me close that one down. Oh, let me delete this one. Delete this one. And save, yes, I'm going to save. Let me go back to the code. Let me delete this one. Alright, I'll show you what happens if it's just file path. Start, open the file, write to file, write to file. Let's have a look at that one again. See the results. Look at this one. That was that VB new line, which I didn't want there really, did I? And it's a little space. Alright, so it's totally erase the contents of that file, and it's put it in the new format with ISBN first, author last name, author first name. So that's okay. Let me just copy and paste something in here. I've copied some and pasted some information at the bottom. So if you're setting up a Streamwriter, if you just have file path, then that will overwrite the files. Overwrite the file. And if you have file path and then true, it will append data to the file. File path and then false creates a new file if one does not exist. So Streamwriter, you can add a comma if you want, set it to true or false. And also for here, there is write line. So I can do my writer. Yeah, right. You can see there's a right line here, and you can write obviously line by line. Let me show you an example of doing that. I've got some on the website. If you went to malearn.co.uk, click on visualbasic.net, scroll down, where are we? Yeah, pendant, this one, maybe this one. Yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. So there's the file name. So if I were to set up an array and I had 4 items in it, very right line, add another little 1, and I want to write each of those array positions to the text file. So there's my stream writer. I'll set it to true. It's going to append, and there is my loop, or I equals 0 to 4 for each of these positions. I'm using this right line. This time instead of just write, and it will write this array text I. So do this one first, then that one, and that one. Close it. We appended line by line. Yeah, we've done that one. I think that is enough for this video. In the next one, we'll do what we do here. We'll copy files, we'll delete them, we'll move them, and things like that. See you in the next video.